Hey Olivia, thanks so much for coming today. I'm obviously a first year student paramedic and just branching out to learn more about communication that I can take into my field. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Hi Sam, I'm Young Queensland's The Right to Choose Vice President. We're a student collective or an organisation which asks students from various tertiary education facilities such as unis or TAFEs or even just apprenticeships to show support for the decriminalisation of abortion in Queensland and drum up support for the current bill that's before Parliament. What we do is we just ask them where they sit on the idea of abortion, and if they fall into pro-choice, which is most people, then we ask if they're interested in helping us further.
Nice. And so do you ever get one-on-one with people, or is it all like a big group that you're dealing with?
Generally a big group, but every now and then we do encounter a one-on-one who's come to us because they themselves had an abortion or their partner's had an abortion and they want to know if their story can be helpful. But that's rather rare. We usually get them at like various events that we host. We host heaps of events.
Oh, wow.
So then they come around, they might make themselves known to us privately at an event. So that's when we deal with one-on-ones.
That's cool. With the events, what sort of events are you guys doing?
Well, we organised a rally on the 10th of May earlier this year when the bill was presented to Parliament. That rally was outside Parliament House and went for a few hours, and we had various political speakers and politicians mostly who were involved. And then we had an expert panel on the 12th of July, which was held at Parliament House. So we had doctors, lawyers and a counsellor talk about abortion, which was really interesting. And most recently we entered into an alliance with Pro-Choice Queensland and QT Women's Collective, and we had another panel at the QT.
Yes, I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
And when you're doing all this communication, I'm guessing that's a really big part.
Huge.
What do you think makes good communication?
I think being as clear and concise as possible, especially when you're dealing with a tough subject like abortion, which can be quite distressing to some. You don't want to beat around the bush. You want to let them know exactly what you're there to talk about, but at the same time you want to distance yourself enough from the moral debates that you don't get caught up in something that's off topic, offside. You want to be there to help that person or ask them for their support, so you don't want to seem to be inconsiderate by not being direct with them.
And back to when you were talking about the whole one-on-one, how do you build a relationship with someone that comes to you?
If they come to us, then it's pretty much we listen to them. We see what they want to offer, and then we often give them an email address or other contact details and say that you can either talk to us through that for further information. And we haven't yet had to have a follow-up one-on-one meeting with anyone, because usually they're just quite comfortable emailing. So yeah.
And do you have different colleagues that you work with? Is there ever conflict between those? How do you guys go about that?
It's mostly me and Kate, who's the president of Young Queenslanders The Right to Choose, and we have only ever had like a couple of conflicts, but usually it's a 15-minute conversation and one of us will be like, well actually no, I really think this, and so whoever can justify their point the most. We're pretty good friends, so it's fairly easy for us to get through any sort of conflict.
That's good. So I guess sort of talking about it and just bringing it on the open.
Yeah.
That's cool. And one thing I don't really want to admit, but for my placement I'm a bit scared about going to like rapes, drugs, domestic violence sort of cases. How do you go about that? Like not feeling empathy for something you don't necessarily see eye to eye with.
Okay, so abortion does enter into the realms of everything you've just mentioned, so rape, drug abuse, domestic violence. And whenever we encounter a story, which unfortunately is very common, that involves one of those things, we have to listen to everything that they say, and we can never pass judgment publicly on that person. We have to help them in whatever way that we see would fit into the ethical framework that they've already built up as a person. We're not pregnancy counsellors, so we don't have women coming up to us who are pregnant seeking an abortion. We have women who've already had an abortion and may have encountered harassment or abuse because of the choice that they've made. So they're very used to trying to shield themselves from that. So the best thing you can do is seem to be perhaps not empathetic, but just understanding. And just try to convey that to them whatever way you can.
Okay, so obviously there's the ones that agree with you guys, but do you ever get difficult people that maybe are throwing hate at you guys or?
Yeah, pretty frequently. Like when we were organising the panel, we had a couple people email us with some pretty choice words about what we were trying to do, and you know, we had